Today's topic. Kim Kardashian made some comments and it went viral and people felt some type of way.
My advice for women in business is you just have to do what you're actually passionate about, because if you don't have passion in it, it's not easy, regardless of how it looks.
I thought Courtney was going to say some shit like, ride the coattails of your successful sister, an NBA player, and get a baby by him. Get a baby by me,
baby,
be a millionaire. No, she's a millionaire.
Yeah, she's a millionaire.
They're on their way to billions. I like how all these sisters act like they did some shit when, like, no, you just came out the right pussy. Like, some of y'all did none of the work.
I think people see things with instant gratification because of social media, that they think it just comes easy to people. It doesn't, especially if you want something long term.
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's so true.
You have to surround yourself with people that want to work. Have a good work environment where everyone loves what they do, because you have one life. No toxic work environments, and show up and do the work.
If you're the smartest person in that room, you gotta go to another room. Like, you don't, I want to be around really successful people, because that's gonna drive me to be successful.
All these, like, fucking self-help quotes. Okay. So a lot of people heard these comments and got upset. There was a whole bunch of people online who felt some type of way about her comments. I'll just let you go ahead. Preach, what do you think?
Okay, first and foremost, I believe that she's right. It's not what she said. It's who said it, okay? And that's what got people pissed off. It's not so much that you have to work. It's a hard job. I was speaking to someone. The person was like, I think I want to do this YouTube thing. I want to do this, this influencer thing. I was like, okay, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. So what you think? What you want to talk about? You have to find your niche. Well, I don't know. The more I was speaking to the person, the more I realized, okay, you just want the fame and the attention. You don't want to do the work. You want that shit to come easy to you, and that's it. Got some people, I was talking to another person, telling me that one of his partners was buying views. Buying views. You just want what it looks like. Yeah, there's some people that really do not want to work for it. They really want the instant gratification. Now, the problem is this. What she said was not the problem. It's who said it. And coming from King K, yeah, you had to do is what? Be at the right place at the right time. You forget that as well, that aspect, because there's people that are working hard. There are some people that do work hard, and they will never get to your level. Some people get a succession of good luck and work, and they still don't get it. And you got good luck and it happens. So let's not forget the fact that luck and being there at the right time and capitalizing on that also is the factor. It's not just hard work. Girl, please. You were already in the position where you start your career where you had the luck to be at the position that you had. You had the dad that you had that had a whole lot of money, and you were able to chill with Paris Hilton. That was not work. That was your daddy. Come on.
Because you see everything on social media and you think, oh, it's just a lifestyle, or oh, it's like really quick and easy and you can just post something, and it's not easy. When you do product shots, when you do post things that are work-related posts, it's still a job and it's still really hard, and success is never easy.
Every time I see her in like a fancy photo, I just imagine on the left side, Pete Davidson just be like,
I banged that.
Where are you at, Pete? In your wife's bed. That's foul, bro.
If you put in the work, you will see results. It's that simple.
Okay.
It's not that simple.
Okay, that last line just makes me cringe so hard. Okay, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just go from the top. So this is one of the interesting things about success in life is folks take their trajectory and then they'll say, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. And this is the truth, right? Mm-hmm. People will say, I met my wife and she was a virgin and we've been together 40 years. That's the truth. You need a virgin wife, right? Everybody's going to think that their way of doing things is the right way, and it lacks a lot of perspective. Because if you aren't honest about all the things that contribute to where you got to where you are, then you can't really be honest about your trajectory. When I hear her talk about this stuff, I find it a little strange because, like Preach said, it's not like you just did a rags to riches story. Boo-boo, you come from one of the most famous lawyer families in the world. Ain't that the man who defended OJ?
Yeah, he was part of the team.
You come from like living in Beverly Hills to having connections. Like, here's one thing that folks don't admit. When you come out of university, the most important part is not even the degree. It's the connections that you make. Right? Because from that, you're able to garner more opportunities. So if your parents are boosters at the university, you're far more likely to get in the university and stay inside because they donate so much money. Those kind of connections help you out throughout life. When you want to apply for a job, you think your resume is the most important thing? Of course not. Who you know at the company is going to be the biggest determining factor of whether or not you get in or not. I know people who are shit for brains, bad resume. They know the right people, they can get into anywhere. That's a fact of life. There's certain things that you will never have access to that Kim has. And so here's another weird thing. Making your first 100,000 is very difficult. Making the next million is easy. Why? Because a lot of wealth issues are exponential. Once you make money, making more of it is super quick. I'm not saying it's always going to work out, but it's a lot easier. Can you attest to that?
Yes, sir.
There's a certain way that this society functions where it's meant to keep certain people down and keep certain people up. Okay? And knowing that, when people say stuff like, well, just work hard and you'll get there. That's such a fucking bullshit lie. Even in the arts, it's such a lie. I see stand-up comedians who go to open mics every week. And they're on and they write and they write and they've been at it for 15, 20 years. And they still trash. Why? They're working harder than literally everybody I know. But if you know anything about business, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. You can save as much money as you want. If you know the right investment strategies, you're going to make more than anybody who learns how to save, put their money in a savings account. The savings account got a 0.344 interest rate. You getting an extra $15 a year, okay?
Yay.
Person who has a good investment strategy, who understands crypto, who understands stocks, who understands dividends, all this stuff, they're going to make way more money. Why? Because they know how to use their money intelligently. It's not enough to just work hard. Here's another thing that I learned now that I've made a bit of money. The knowledge you learn from others who actually have had money is super important. But I didn't know that because I was financially illiterate. The only lesson my mom gave me is save your money, which already a great lesson. And thankfully it saved me a lot. But then I had to learn about tax-free savings account. I had to learn about dividends. I had to learn about incorporating. I had to learn about the tax brackets. I had to learn about tax brackets for corporations versus individuals. All these little money things that make a huge difference, not only in making more money, but in maintaining your wealth. But guess what? Most people don't grow up in those environments. They don't even know this information exists. That's the thing out there.
Yeah.
When your dad tells you, yo, listen, I know you don't know what you're doing, but you made a lot of money at 18. Let me help you out with your investment strategies. I know this shit. I've been managing. That is big difference than an 18-year-old who grows up from rags to riches and then is broke 3 years after he's out of the league. Why do you think so many of these athletes lose all their money?
Because they don't know.
They have nobody around them to coach them, a lot of vultures around them, and their parents and their family have never had money, so they just know how to spend it. We have to stop this whole binary, all right? Everyone thinks that they've got their red pill, they've got their truth, and their truth is absolute. Hard work, you're going to get there. That's not true. You need a combination of different things. I remember back in the day they used to say this. Don't sleep. Don't sleep until you're successful. So motherfuckers were pulling all-nighters all the time, not realizing they're shortening their lifespan, reducing their work abilities, right? Some of the worst hard work advice I ever heard.
Not even that. Not even that. They're reducing their lifespan, and they're cutting themselves from their families.
Yes. I mean, that's a personal thing. But I'm just talking about from a work standpoint.
Yeah, but then after that, they realize that they don't have the support system to even do the work that they were able to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's from the personal standpoint, but it does affect your work.
Agreed. So when she sits there and she's talking about like, yeah, just work hard and it's that easy, it's like that's such a tone-deaf thing to say. There's people who are working hard at their jobs every single day and they will never see any upward mobility, either because the financial strain and the responsibilities financially that they have with the multiple kids and all this stuff is so big that they don't have time to be
Kim K was able to go to law school. But she had nannies. Things that you will never have access to.
Yeah.
Nannies to
when
help
you're living
with your
paycheck
kids.
to paycheck?
Yo,
c'est pas
not,
possible.
It's not the same thing. So the thing is, with rich people like that, people that are born rich and rich people like that, you know what? I'm going to include myself. People that make a little bit of money, not even rich. Just people that, the minute you make a little bit of money, the minute you start to be a little bit disconnected.
A little.
I include myself in that. Yep. And I was having this conversation with one of my friends, and he was saying that, I've been having money for like the past 4 years now that I'm making money, and I'm a bit disconnected. And I was like, you're right, you are. I'm disconnected too. People are talking shit about the gas prices, and I was like, stop talking about the gas. Oh yeah. Yo, it's not a problem for me, but it's there. It's outrageous. The gas prices are outrageous out there. It's crazy. When you have a family and shit like that and people are thinking about selling their cars just because they can't, because the gas payment is bigger than the insurance and the car payment. Yeah, it is a real problem. And that's a problem. And she hasn't been, I don't know if it's because I'm connected to, and I'm always afraid that I'm going to go back to, I always remind myself that I can always go back to where I was. That's why I'm still on jobboom.com. Every Wednesday I receive some job application. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back to that, right? but she's never been in that position.
Right.
Never had to be in that position. So there's a disconnect. There is a disconnect. For the rest of the family too. The younger they are in that family, the bigger the disconnect, because they really never had that. Kim K was talked about when the other one was young. So it's just like, oh yeah, that's life. So
Jenner girl.
Yeah.
Her connections to the Kardashians helped her get the agent, get the photographers, get her all that. You think a young aspiring model can do what Jenner did? There's a reason why wealth within a family that's prominent keeps growing exponentially. They're using their connections with each other. You think Courtney would have been successful without the sister or the dad? Come on now.
The mom is getting money too. For what?
Just stop. Stop it. I cringe when they say that.
It's hard work, yeah, but you were in a position, a very particular position that made you access whatever you had access.
On the topic of working hard versus working smart, how many of you guys have worked towards a degree that you later found out was useless? You worked hard.
But
you got it all. And you ended up finding it was useless. Right now you're crying yourself to sleep looking at student debt, or maybe you cleared it, like, for what? You worked hard. Wasn't the smartest move. But you didn't know better, maybe. Or maybe you did. I don't know. People work hard every day and then go into a fucking dead end. That happens.
But I'm the
working out,
person in my
you need to work out smart or else you get injured. So that's why they're telling you to study up on things, make sure you know how to do all this stuff. It's all important. Yeah. Work out efficiently, not stupidly. That's one point. Also, the whole thing about make sure there's no toxic work environments. That's a privilege, boo-boo. When you pour, you take what you can get, and you learn to accept it. You learn to accept it. You don't have the luxury of doing this. This is like, that's privilege talking. Not toxic work environments. Who chooses their supervisors?
No, I can't do that. I can't work there because I got mouth to feed. I gotta work there. It's a bullshit job, but I gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's not the best, huh? But
imagine looking at fucking soldiers. No toxic work environment. Yeah, let me go fire my sergeant. The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about, really? Love what you do? That's a luxury too. Most Americans, most people in North America, I think it's like 68% right now, live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Who has the fucking luxury
There's actually
of choosing to love what you do or no toxic work environments? You live paycheck to paycheck.
I think it's like 40% of the people that make more than $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck.
Because they live in a city where you make that much, but you pay crazy amounts.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. To me, it's a bit tone deaf. And I think also a lot of the self-help guru bullshit, you just realize that a lot of it's just fluff pieces to tell you like, oh, you can do it if you do this. It's a lot more complicated than that. Okay? Yeah. It's a lot more complicated than that. And honestly, here's something that I had to accept, like with stand-up, for example. Some folks are just not going to make it. They're not cut out for it. They don't have the self-awareness to realize like how their jokes are being interpreted, how their jokes come across to people, what's wrong within their joke. They just don't have the brain for it. Not everyone is meant to do everything. That's why I say you have to understand what your skill sets are and what you can develop and what you don't have. Mm-hmm. All right? If you got a busted knee, guess what? If your knee is always busted, you probably can't do basketball as a professional athlete. It sucks. A lot of NBA athletes have lost their careers, but that's another thing where working hard is not enough. There are certain realities you have to accept. Doesn't mean you can't transition your efforts elsewhere and find where your skill sets matter and they're well valued, but understand that. And also, this is the last thing I think in Kim K's defense. Success can look like a lot of different things. Maybe it's just a living wage where you're able to take care of your family, put some savings, go on a trip or two a year. That could be success for a lot of people. Right? It doesn't have to look like a billionaire. Success can vary from person to person. So I think it's encouraging to know, like, with a certain level of work ethic and thinking intelligently, you can create that environment for yourself in a reasonable sense. But, like, I'm confused sometimes because I feel like everybody think they're going to be a millionaire or something like that. And it's like, bro, it's not going to happen. I didn't even think I would get to a point where I'm even close to that kind of money. I didn't even think that would ever happen. I was going to be fine with just like, yo, listen, let me just make a teacher salary doing stand-up. I would have been happy. We also have to stop glamorizing this entrepreneur 6-7 figure lifestyle because it's not feasible for most people.
I just wanted to pay my bills.
Yeah. Ain't that true?
I just wanted to pay my bills.
Neither of us thought we'd get here.
No, not with that. I just did it because it was fun.
There you go.
And the result was fun, the comments and shit like that.
But you were stressed. How stressed were you about money?
You know, I told you.
Yeah.
We had that whole conversation.
Yeah, there's even points where you're like, I don't know, I might have to do other shit. And I'm like, well, man, you figure out what you got to do.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
No,
and you didn't have no kids. You know what I'm saying? You had a girl that was supporting you financially.
Yeah.
Not everybody has your circumstances.
No,
and if let's say if you were a single dad.
fucked.
Do I think we'd probably be doing this today?
Probably
not.
would, but we'd find a way. Like the kid would be right there. You can't bring your kid here. Okay, well, you're gonna have to wait outside.
But yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah, well,
But it's rough.
it is. But anyways, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Is there anything you guys want to add?
No.
No? All right, then let us know what you guys think.
You covered it.